Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Compliments episode wrap up for episode
7?
57.
57. So this is just after we just started our contest of champions. So
I'm so fucking mad.
we got that going for us, and that's what Alex got hit with, not a rapper. So
I had
So remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Also follow us on TikTok and Twitter, and we have a Discord that you can find in the down there.
Yes, the good old down there. Also, Zach, while I love the initiative, this does not count as your intro for the round table.
Ooh, that's okay.
Yeah, you were too busy being.
practice.
Where did it end up? Where did you goal it to?
In my hat on my bed.
Nice. I just saw this. So I was like, don't fucking throw my thing in your hamper or the trash.
No, I just had my hat upside down on my bed and used this perfect little basket. Crush it. Larry Bird up in this bitch.
So who's going first, y'all?
You,
Why?
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
because you brought it up.
because
That's
you
valid.
never go for. Well, you very
I've been going
rarely
first because I
ever-
complained.
To quote Clint McElroy, the first smeller's the feller.
I highly recommend other TTRPG content. We consume it, and that's how we develop our style.
Yep.
First shout out has to be to Alex. Like, this is so cool. This is so incredibly cool. Like, the whole imagery of it, while I'm mad at the solution, because I just know who you are as a person, like, this entire concept of this contest, of this beginning contest that was just this. Oh, Code is gone. He's blurry in the void. Just pull your hand back slowly. There you go.
You just gotta whap it on the side. Fixed it.
Tech tips with Coda Bear.
Yeah.
This whole thing is really cool, and I'm excited to see the individual challenges. I'm also really excited to see how we all step up with different classes, different characters, different leveled abilities. This is going to be really cool. If Alex gives me a sorcerer, y'all are fucked. That's just how it is. For Lysander, I want to say the haunted words, but I won't. I tried a lot of different things today. None of them really worked out until I was meta familiar with the way Alex runs D&D. But I actively was trying to use skills that I am not inherently built for and not inherently good at to try and figure out things. And I'm not super great at puzzles, so that was cool that I just kind of bashed my head at everything to make it work. Zach, I appreciate that you were trying to gather as much information as possible. Like, Tumult is the observer, Tumult is the watcher, Tumult is the one who tries to get the biggest picture of things. So trying to keep an eye out and see what everyone else was doing was extremely in character and extremely clever if it just all lined up perfectly. Because that's a hard thing to notice if they took a step back and they disappeared. Like that, I understand why that was a very high DC, but it was very clever that you were going through and trying to do all of that. So well done. And I will toss it over to Argus.
I gotta give it to my buddy Garagak for digging a 200-foot hole. That was so on brand.
And Devin's
I
fucking
loved it.
clutch crit just to make that fucking happen.
Yeah, I loved it. And thank you for taking me on that ride. And I bailed just before you hit. But no, I loved it. And Garagak is always, you are always in character with Garagak, and I love it. And I love Garagak. And I am super excited that Garagak hasn't taken to Argus the way he did with Anouk, but it's like kind of there too. So, and certainly not like that bastard Zykor.
Damn.
We love you, Zach.
Just messing with you, buddy.
No!
Shit, he's gone.
Turn that camera back on, fool.
So yeah, I love what you do with Garagak. I look forward to it every week, and it was still on brand and perfect, and I'm excited to see what comes down the road for that. For myself, I had 2 moments that I'm really, really proud of, that I can think of. I'm only going to say one, and I'm going to decide which one I want. I think it's going to be the skywriting. The skywriting was clutch. No, it wasn't clutch. It was,
That bought us
but it was a
lot of time.
really, really good idea.
Yeah.
My only
And-
question is how many people took a step backwards while setting up their camp?
7.
So yeah, that's my compliment for myself was that skywrite deception check. And Zach, you get to go now, and you can slam me. See if you can't, burn me so bad I need some aloe.
So for those who don't get to see the Zoom names because they're not saved in the recording, Zach changed his name from I didn't do much today, which was what it was from last session, to a series of dots, a space, a series of more dots, another space, and 3 more dots.
The best part about it, though, was that when somebody turns their camera off on Zoom, their nickname is all that you see in that space if you have non-video participants on. So all I saw was like the 4 of you's lovely faces and then just dots in the last spot. I was like, oh, to be continued. Go ahead, Zach.
I mean, Dash said it already, and I said it during, Alex, this was fun. It was great. And we love how you thought about it. And I was slowly progressing to take a step back with just a few key things that you were giving me. And that's why I wanted to talk to Ult, because Ult just tells me to do certain things or to not do certain things, and it kind of gives me the right answer. So I kind of use him as my free DM inspiration because I don't get those anymore. I don't do anything for that. I haven't gotten a single DM inspiration point since we transitioned to the new system. I'm just not good at that kind of stuff, and it is what it is. But I always make sure Coda and Anook get theirs, so that's all that matters. Coda and Rob get theirs. But
Oh, my bad. Jesus.
with everything everybody did today, everyone had their own mindset
Alex!
and like full-on thought process they brought to it. Like Ileana went through their whole thought process of how to solve this puzzle. Lysander went through their whole thought process of how to solve this. Everyone did it in their own way. And it was really cool. I'm really sad Ian couldn't be here, but hopefully everything is fine and he'll be with us next week. But it would have been fun because I feel like he might have solved this pretty quickly just by Tepartos' character. We probably would have done something, him getting scared, walking backwards, and just it happens and no one saw it. Where's Tepartos?
And equally as much as we razz Ian and Tepartos, mainly Ian more than Tepartos, Ian's so fucking smart. He always happens to miss because of life circumstances, the big, puzzly, riddly episodes, and I want to see him shine in one of these. I mean, he probably will in the contest, but, Alex!
So that was it.
My bad.
For me, and I'm going to pass it over to Devin.
Today was really fun. Echoing everybody, Alex did a really good job with the puzzle and just the descriptions and imagery and everything. How everyone solved the puzzle on the used their own methods to solve the puzzle. It was all in character. That was great. Something that hasn't been mentioned that I do want to bring up is just, I guess it's been mentioned before, but Coda, you've just got this new artifact or legendary weapon thing that's basically a utility stick, and you're using it every session in multiple ways, and it's so cool to watch you just have this thing that a battering ram. Cool. I think you used it as a climbing pole last week. It's You're doing really good with that, and it's really fun to watch these ideas you come up with.
Thanks.
For Ileana, I just staying in character with the process and everything, trying to figure out what the puzzle is. And And I do like having Big Heck just like throw us. That's really fun. I think that's gonna be coming back a lot more. Yeah. And then I think Garagag, did you go yet?
No, I haven't. Uh, well, I was gonna echo. I was gonna say, Rob, the Skywrite thing was awesome. I feel like that actually bought us so much time because people just stopped doing anything. Like it was between that and the bad rolls that followed. Probably bought us a ton of time, which we apparently really needed. But also I really liked how Ileana tried the banishment, which I think it was the previous episode, if I'm remembering right. You were literally experimenting with the banishment through the cloud plane and stuff, and then trying it here. And I was just carrying on. I thought that was really cool. And it was actually a really smart play because we could have easily just been on a different plane, but there was like a safety net for it. Um, and then for myself, um, I dug a 250-foot deep hole. um, yeah, I think I really like the rod. I'm glad I got that. I really like using it for all the different. Yeah, I really like getting the rod. uh, I got it like a
I was
week
trying to be
ago.
subtle.
Yeah, I got it like a week ago, and man, I just can't get enough of it. I keep getting it like at least every weekend now.
It was great
It's
seeing
so
you,
good.
ramming that rod hard.
Yeah, I was giving it my all.
I mean,
I think last episode I was climbing on it,
yeah,
you know, and this
everybody needs a good
episode,
rod to climb, but
yeah, this episode I really just rammed it home.
yep,
Eventually, you'll find just like a nice slippery slope. You can just ride the rod.
Yeah,
Be a great
yeah,
time.
maybe I can find something to put on the rod and
you probably
slide
don't
on.
want to spin a rod though, or spin on it. That might be uncomfortable.
Man, can you
Yeah.
imagine breaking the rod? That would suck.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh man, that would
Ooh.
suck.
I am
Uh,
God's mistake.
Oh man.
I saw you gesture. And I was like, "Yo, I'm rolling with it. We're doing this."
Oh man.
Has
For
anyone
those of
not
you that
gone?
thought we were mature, no, I think it's me now.
Okay.
So I want to compliment all of you once again. I know this is kind of breaking the tradition of me complimenting you all separately, but there's something I want to compliment all of you on because all of you are taking steps to make this exact thing happen. There are two ways to solve this. Because I had a backup plan. Because I knew one of you would instinctually, I had a gut feeling, one of you would instinctually look me dead in the eyes and say, this is a puzzle. And just to get it out of the way, say, I take a step backwards. And so I had a backup plan because I didn't want this puzzle to be 30 seconds long and then have to figure out how to move on to the rest. So there was an actual answer. And it did have to do with the patterns and it did have to do with everything you were finding. And it had to do with finding the actual boundaries and where they existed. So with all of you spending your time looking at what was happening around you, what was going on, looking at the details, looking at the grid specifically and starting to look through it, you guys were incredibly close. The thing that the end piece of it was that the corners of the grids where everything met, there's a rock that sat next to it.
I was trying to find a rock. That makes sense.
Right. And it just so happened when you guys were making those, like looking in those places, looking for those things, the rolls just weren't quite where they needed to be to get that information. Underneath those rocks, there's a switch that would let you fully disable that grid piece. And every one that you did would reveal more and more and more information to shut down the illusion itself. But only for you and the people that were around you. So there was another full playthrough. But once we got to that like half hour mark, I was like, nah, it's walking backwards. That's fine. We're just sticking with it. But no, I just wanted to say how proud of you I was for you guys sticking through it. And all of you had really great ideas on how to solve it. All of you guys had really great ideas on what to look for, how to look for it.
Now I'm mad.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because I was gonna check the corner where the grids came together. That was gonna be the next thing I did.
But then you got distracted by the camera.
Then I got distracted by the camera.
I would have like if you guys would have gotten to that answer, I would have given it to you. But all of those little things you guys were doing, like the Skywrite buying you guys extra turns between rolls, the Zach watching people's patterning, Coda finding literally the edge of the shell. It was there because it was again like one of those moments. Ileana just literally being like, I just want to brain power through this. What am I not seeing? What am I not looking for? How do I logic this puzzle? How do I find the answer? I'm not looking for details. I'm looking for what's actually happening. Lysander looking at just the minute details and trying his hardest to find that thing, that one thing. And it was like a DC 15. Like it was
I kept
right
rolling
there.
like 12s
Yeah, it was just the rules that were so close, but just not quite there. I was like, man, you gotta have it.
Yeah, and I had no inspiration to burn.
Yeah. All of you guys did such amazing jobs. You guys were being so creative with trying to find this answer. I'm just incredibly proud of all of you and how your brain works. Y'all made my heart happy saying this was really fun and good. And I thought you guys were just going to hate it. It was going to be like, make y'all just really upset. So the fact that you guys enjoyed it and thought it was neat and interesting was good. It makes me feel good. Then for me, I'm really, really proud of the Contest of Champions.
Should be.
Really proud. I like how the base is set up. I like how it's going to run. I hope it runs as well as it is in my head of like
I'm
how this
so
is
excited,
function.
dude. So excited.
Yeah,
I've spent a lot of time making random NPCs, figuring out what monsters would be kind of pseudo balanced to be like your guys' level of interaction, but still like smart enough, sentient enough to be able to like solve the puzzles and work their way through. And it's been a lot of research and time and energy and effort and like put into it. And I'm really proud of how it's turned out so far. And I hope that it continues to roll in that trend, that it's going to keep going. I made a bunch of mini games that are going to be super fun, and they all have their own little unique spin.
I'm excited to see as well, because again, I know a tiny bit of background knowledge just being a roommate person. I'm excited to see us getting our hands on some of your old PCs, because you build such interesting characters. So I'm excited to see what happens in our hands.
So that's part of it too, is all the NPCs, all of the PCs, or all the NPCs that you guys are going to get to play and get to work through are like, yes, some of them are like my old PCs that I made for games I've played and like things like that. But it's also highlight reels from some of my previous games I've run. It's some of my old players' PCs that are jumping back in, and I'm throwing into the mix for you guys. And I'm just really, it's kind of a run through of my history of D&D playing.
So will they all have like a bit of backstory? So we play them like according to that, or no?
You don't have to. I'm gonna do my best. It really depends on how much time I have around work this week. Because most of the character sheets are done. I just have to
give us an elevator pitch of the who the fuck is my D&D character version of who they are.
But no, a lot of it is just D&D is great, and there's a lot of games that were super fun, and I think it would have been really cool to be able to share this story like we share ours. So just being able to kind of take all of these PCs that have just super big places in my heart from those previous memories, be them mine or my players, because again, I don't get to play very often, but I get to DM a ton.
Alex, just let me play A10.
No.
What if I played A10?
No. I'll let Rob play 8th Senate. It'll be fine.
But what if they were level, what are we, 17? No,
15 or
15,
14.
14. To like level them up by like
Um,
5 levels.
No, it's fine. But no, I've put a lot of effort and thought and literally just small pieces of my heart into this whole contest. And I am ecstatic for you guys to get to kind of see this little journey and to be able to immortalize some of my friends and their minds and my mind and all of these great moments and memories into this chaos shenanigans thing that I've made. An example, and I know he doesn't watch the show just because a lack of time. But my buddy Dar, his first D&D character
We're getting
that he
his
ever got to
paladin?
play was is a barbarian.
Oh, okay.
But the first game we ever played was in our just like nerd group in Longmont, Colorado. We were a magic group, and everybody's like, we should try D&D, and that ended up being a 3-year long 1 through 20 campaign, or 1 through 20, but we skipped like 5 levels in there, so I don't really count it as running a 1 through 20. But just the sheer look on his face at the end of that campaign, because they all, similar to you guys, like they all got to rise and become gods of the things that they stood for, and like they rose up into this pantheon, and just the sheer look of joy on his face. And now I get to bring that character here and immortalize him forever. It just warms my heart to be able to do stuff like that. Sorry, I've been rambling so long.
Just send him the time code of the session that, or the tournament battle that he's in, and be like, just watch these 5 to 17 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just very excited. I'll put little notes for all the PCs. At the very least, I'll put notes for the other people's, so that we can kind of shout out them when you guys play them and make sure that they know and get their names out there, because that's what they're doing. It's a lot of fun. Sorry, I've been talking for a while about myself, and that's, that is what it is. But
no, I'm even more excited because this is like a scrapbook of you and your D&D experience.
Yeah.
And that's really cool and personal, and I like that.
Yeah. Carting some of the ones from 3.5 over has been a pain. 3.5 is wild and really numbers heavy, and translating that is not always the easiest thing. But I digress. I apologize for ranting on for so long. Thank you guys at home so much for watching. It's compliments wrap up. It's just a fun little way that we get to do the thing. I highly encourage you to do it for all your home TTRPG games, not just D&D, but any of them. It's a lot of fun. Keep a lookout on all the socials and all that stuff, and the Discord and all that for us. And we will see you next Wednesday for another episode of The Dice That Bind Us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.